One day, you may have to deal with a negative employee. This is someone who seems like their sole purpose is to make life difficult for others. Their behavior becomes like a virus, infecting everyone around them in a negative way. You can't ignore the problem. Your only option is to deal with this head on. Find out what you need to do to deal with a negative employee. I'm Hector Wong, and I help leaders who are struggling and feeling overwhelmed to conquer their challenges and be confident in their role. To stay up to date with my latest videos and helpful tips, make sure to subscribe to this channel by clicking the subscribe button. As a manager or leader, you will inevitably have to deal with a negative employee or direct report. They have a poor attitude, has a combative approach, and engages in toxic behaviors. If left unchecked, they cause harm to those around them and to their organization. Not only can they damage team morale, their behaviors can lead to losing customers, employees, and potentially your credibility and reputation. Ideally, you should have created a culture of open communication where there's no chance for a negative employee to be ever come into existence. In this culture, a high degree of trust and safety has evolved over time to where people can speak openly and give criticism without fear. This culture begins by asking people to do the leader criticism. You model behavior that you want people on your team to practice, and you need to give as much or even more praise than criticism to your team. Your criticism should be genuine but not personal. You have to come from the position of truly caring for your team. With this culture in place, you will have developed strong relationships with your direct reports. So whenever any problems start brewing, people will trust you to bring it to your attention, instead of letting it fester and give birth to negative behaviors. But if a negative employee does come to develop, you need to tackle it quickly and directly. Whenever an incident with this employee occurs, call it out immediately. If you take too long to respond or never respond at all, you're telling this and everyone that this type of behavior is acceptable and it will become normalized. When talking to this employee, do so using facts and not your own personal assumptions or feelings. Identify the situation that occurred, the behavior they demonstrated, and the impact that it caused. This way, you don't make it personal. Let the employee respond. You give them a chance to explain how they can correct their behavior going forward. For example, I've had to deal with a person who was always making disparaging comments to ideas brought up in a meeting. Immediately after the meeting, I took this person aside and talked to them privately. I indicated what I saw in the meeting, and then I told them that their negative comments were not helping the brainstorming process of generating new ideas, and thus the team would not be able to solve the problem they were trying to work on. I pointed out that it may also make it harder for them to build and maintain relationships if all they can say are negative comments. I then said that I know they wanted to be successful, asked them what I can do to support them to be more successful moving forward. There may be times that no matter what you do or try, the negative employee's behavior cannot be corrected. The well-being of your team outweighs those of just one person. You may need to consider letting this person go. It's better to remove a toxic element than risk it damaging the rest of your team and yourself. Having a strong culture of communication is important for any team, but don't let one bad apple spoil the bunch. If you need to deal with a negative employee, you need to act quickly and be direct. The welfare of your team and your organization depends on it.